Hi, I'm Chris, one of the trainers here at First Student. Today we're going to be talking about the new pre-trip on an international. Let's begin. I'm approaching the bus. I'm looking under the bus for any fluids indicating some kind of leak. I'm looking for the level of the bus, left or right, back and forward. Make sure there's no suspension problems or flat tires. As we're approaching the bus now, we're going to open the hood. And we're going to start our pre-trip on the driver's side of the engine. Okay, starting on the driver's side, the engine and transmission. It's not leaking, no fluids are dripping around or underneath. The power steering reservoir is securely mounted, not damaged, no leaking, and it's at its proper level. The steering linkage is securely mounted, not cracked or worn, no missing rods, arms, links, nuts, bolts, and cotter keys. The steering box is securely mounted, no damage, no leaking, and no missing bolts. Its hoses are securely mounted, no damage, and no leaking. The steering hoses are securely mounted, no damage, and no leaking. The spring mounts are securely mounted, no damage, no missing parts. The leaf springs are securely mounted, no damage, and none have shifted. The shock absorber is securely mounted, no damage, and not leaking. The brake lines are securely mounted, no damage, and no leaking. The brake lining is free of grease and oil. We go to our tire here. Should have 30 seconds of tread checked by a gauge. We have our sidewalls, not damaged, not bulging. We have our rim, no welds, no damage, and the stud holes are not elongated. We have our lug nuts, they're not missing, and the studs are not broken. We would check our tire with the air pressure gauge at the valve stem. And now we're going to go on to the other side. On this side, we have our coolant reservoir. It's securely mounted. It's not damaged. It's not leaking. And it's at the proper level. We have our oil. That should be between add and full. I'm going to check all my hoses. They are not leaking visually or audibly. We're going to close that hood. Our service door opens and closes freely. It's securely mounted with no damage. We have our handrails are securely mounted with no damage. We have our steps are securely mounted with no debris on the stairs. All right, we have our fire extinguisher. The inspection is up to date. The pin is in the green, indicating a full charge. The pin is in place and it is securely mounted with no damage. We have our body fluid cleanup kit and our first aid kit. They are securely mounted, no damage, and they are still sealed. We have our 3 reflective triangles, securely mounted, not damaged, and I do have extra fuses. We're going to sit in the seat. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 mirrors. They're all properly adjusted, securely mounted, not damaged, and clean. I have a windshield. It's securely mounted, no damage, no cracks, and it's clean. My horn is working. I'm going to reach over here and click the red switch to close the door. We're going to put our seatbelt on. We're going to turn it off, put it back to run. We're going to note the ABS light is on. When that goes out, we can start the bus. First thing we're going to check is the parking brake. We see it's indicated on our dash. Put our foot on the brake, put the bus in drive. Make sure that did not go into range inhibit mode. And that parking brake held. We're going to release our parking brake. With our hands off the wheel, we're going to go forward 2 times. The wheel did not pull left or right, and the service brakes are working properly. We're going to put our bus back in neutral, and we're going to watch our tanks here. We're watching to see when, so we're watching our gauges, our 2 air gauges on the side here. We're watching for when the governor shuts off. You should be able to hear it. You hear the noise. That was at 120 psi. You're going to let the examiner know that that shut-off valve is at 120 psi. Now we're going to shut off our bus. We're going to turn it off and always back to run so the alarms don't go off. Our bus is in neutral, so we have control of the bus with our foot, so we're not going to let that bus roll. And we're going to do a 1-minute air last test. We're going to watch those air pressure gauge, and we're going to time a minute. I'm watching my gauges. I'm watching my clock. That's been a minute. I did not lose 3 psi in that minute. We're now going to do the low air alarm. We're going to pump the brakes, and the air is going to go out, and we're going to make sure that that alarm sounds and the lights come on before it drops below 60 psi. Those alarms sounded and the lights came on. We're going to continue to pump until the spring brake engages. That should be between 20 and 40. And that spring brake engaged. We're now going to restart the bus. So off. Back to accessory. Wait to start light comes back on. And we're going to restart that bus. All right, while we're waiting for our pressure to rebuild, we're going to check our driver defrost. We can hear it. We can feel that that's working. We're going to turn on our headlights. We're going to look out here, make sure they're gone. We're going to check our windshield wipers, low, high. And if the fluid comes out and those are working properly, we're going to turn the bus off and then back to run so the alarms do not go off. We're going to turn on our master switch. We're going to start our amber 8-way lights, and we're going to turn on our 4-way lights. We see our 4-ways and our amber lights are all indicated in our dashboard. In our crossovers, we see that they are working properly. And now we're going to get up and we're going to check in the back. My seats are secure with no damage. They're anchored properly, and the seats themselves are anchored to the bus properly. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 window emergency exits, 1, 2 roof hatches, and my 7th emergency door is the back door. I'm going to press my child check, this thing for it to turn off. I'm going to put my placard down. My emergency exit is properly labeled. When I open it, the alarm will sound, and I'm going to go out the back and I'm going to check for the amber 8-ways and the 4-ways, make sure they're working properly. My alarm sounded. My emergency door worked properly. My amber 8-ways and my 4-ways are all working properly. As I'm heading back, I'm going to stop here. I can see my strobe light is reflected, and I know that's working properly. I'm going to continue back, checking those seat frames, making sure that they're all secure with no damage. We are going to open our door.
Child checkmate is now activated.
We're going to turn off our 4-ways, and we're going to turn on our right blinker. We see our right blinker is indicated on the dash, and we're going to head outside the bus. My stepwell light is working and not damaged. We come out, we see our crossing gate is properly extended, no damage. I have my 3 amber clearance lights and my red 8-ways are working properly, not damaged. Our headlights and our right turn signal are working. All the lenses are the proper color and not damaged. So we go around. Our stop arms are properly extended. They light on both sides. There's no damage. We're going to check our battery. The batteries are securely mounted, no damage. The wires and cables are secure, not corroded, cracked, or worn. The door is secure and closes properly. I have my frame. It is securely mounted with no damage with the cross members in place. I have 2 amber and 1 red clearance lights. They are lit and working properly. All our lenses on this side of the bus are the proper color. They're not damaged. Stop arm, both lights. I have 3 red clearance lights. They are lit and working properly. All the lenses are the proper color. They're not damaged. They're all working. Our 8-way reds are working properly. Our right turn signal is working. Our door handle works from the outside. All our lenses are the proper color. They're not damaged. My fuel tank door opens. The cap is tight. It's secure. It's not damaged or leaking. The fuel tank is secure, not damaged or leaking. Our right turn signal is working. We're going to go in and change a couple of things. Right blinker to our left blinker. It's indicated on our dash. Pull back, turning on our bright lights, indicated on our dash. We're going to turn off our master switch. And we're going back out. This time around, we're only going to talk about the things that we didn't talk about. Our left turn signal is lit and it's working properly. We have our 2 high beams. They're both lit. They're not cracked or damaged and it's working properly. Our left turn signal, lit and it's working properly. We come to the back here. Our left turn signal is working, no damage. At this time, could you stay back here? Give me the thumbs up when you see my brake lights and my reverse lights. I'm going to head back in the bus, restart it, and check my brake lights and my reverse lights. Okay, you're going to come back in the bus. We're going to close our door. We're going to put our seatbelt on. You can turn off your left blinker and your bright lights. We're going to go start the bus, so we're going to go off, back to run.
Charter mode has been activated.
Alright, once you get the bus started, you can put on your brakes, you can look for the tester, they're going to give you the thumbs up. You can leave the bus running, you're going to wait for the tester to come back, you're going to open the door, and when they're back, you're going to tell them that completes my pre-trip. Congratulations, you're done, and you're going to continue on with the rest of the test.